Welcome back to the fabulous Seaside Heights, New Jersey. On the Record is coming to you live on a huge night of election coverage. And late today, Donald Trump issuing a long statement about the growing controversy over his comments about the judge presiding over the Trump University case. Trump saying, in part, "It's unfortunate that my comments have been misconstrued as a categorical attack against people of Mexican heritage. I am friends with and employ thousands of people of Mexican and Hispanic descent. The American justice system relies on fair and impartial judges. All judges should be held to that standard. I do not feel that one's heritage makes them incapable of being impartial. But based on the rulings that I've received in the Trump University civil case, I feel justified in questioning whether I'm receiving a fair trial." Now, that statement of Trump coming after a day of mixed response from fellow Republicans on the controversy. House Speaker Paul Ryan had this to say.
I disavow these comments. I regret those comments that he made. I don't think claiming a person can't do the job because of their race is sort of like the textbook definition of a racist comment. I think that should be absolutely disavowed. It's absolutely unacceptable. But do I believe that Hillary Clinton is the answer? No, I do not.
And Governor Chris Christie defending Donald Trump after voting here in New Jersey.
I've said this before, that I know Donald Trump. I've known him for 14 years, and Donald Trump is not a racist. And so, you know, the allegations that he is are absolutely contrary to every experience that I've had with him over the last 14 years. And so we're going to end it there.
And joining us, Trump supporter and former contestant on The Apprentice, Omarosa goes on the record. Nice to see you, Omarosa.
Hey, Greta.
So I know you're a big Trump supporter. Your thoughts about this latest round where Donald Trump has fired some comments off about this federal judge. He's now made a statement in writing. But what do you think?
Well, I'm going to take him at his word, particularly him saying that these comments were misconstrued. And I also think it's important that I know him personally, and he certainly is not a racist. He doesn't have issues with people of color. And I think it's important to note that he will not become the poster child for race in this country. And I think that Paul Ryan is really not getting the point here. The point is that Trump wanted a fair trial, and he deserves that, and that's what this country guarantees and our justice system.
Omarosa, there's the one thing, the content about, some people say he's racist, some people say he's not racist, but setting that whole issue and that debate aside, because in many ways, it's certainly, that's one aspect of it. But the other is the strategy. What's the strategy of making public statements about a federal judge, as he did, knowing that it's going to blow up on him? And frankly, if you got a beef with a judge, you can file a motion in court to disqualify him. But Donald took to the airwaves.
Well, Greta, there's been so much misinformation about this trial, and I believe that Donald was seeking to clarify some of the things that reporters are not stating and not clarifying. And so I think that that's really where he came from. But it's also important that my job as the vice chair of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump is to let people know what's going on in the campaign, what's happening in this movement that Donald Trump has started, and that it is an inclusive campaign, and there's room underneath this tent for everyone.
Well, tonight's a big night, especially here in New Jersey and in California as well, and the other states. We're going to hear probably from Secretary of State Hillary Clinton at some point, I assume after the polls close in California. But we're also going to hear from Donald Trump. Can you give us some idea of what you think Donald Trump is going to tell us tonight?
I'm so excited. First of all, we have to mark that here we are a year later after he announced that he was going to pursue the nomination. Here we are on the brink of him going to Cleveland and accepting that party's nomination. And we're here to celebrate, have a good time, and really mark the long journey it's been. Greta, it's been a long road getting here. Tonight, he is going to have some substantial comments, some substantial remarks, and he's going to pivot to the general and show everyone why he deserves to be commander-in-chief.
When he pivots to the general, are we going to see less sort of food fighting and more sort of issues and more statesman-like conversations?
He is a man of substance. There's lots and lots of positions that you have yet to hear about for positions and his outlook on how he is going to make America great. And I am excited that we can start to focus on policies and not personalities and not making things personal. This is an opportunity for people to see Donald Trump as the true leader that he is. And he really does have an incredible vision for this country, and you will see that tonight in his comments and as we move forward towards the general.
Well, we're not going to hear who his vice presidential choice is tonight. At least I don't think so. But we're all anxious to see who he adds to his ticket as we march towards the conventions. Omarosa, thank you for joining us.